Hello, hello, welcome to the third video from our TTQ winners versus professional players commentary. Today we're gonna look at the last game of Clawmac, third place in TTQ versus Ajiki Ladies Wandan. If you wanna learn more about TTQ and TT series, you can check the link in the description. Before we start, a little bit introduction about our today's lady professional player. Fusako Ajiki is ladies professional number 22. She was born in 1974, May 2nd. She's from Tokyo Prefecture. Her current rank was lady professional Wandan, but she is retired player. Her teacher is Aono Teruichi Wandan. She became ladies professional in 1998, April 1st, and her playstyle is Swinging Rook. From interesting facts about her, you should know that her nickname is Aji. Until 2009, she was also the timekeeper on the NHK Cup on TV. And when she was young, because of her father's work, she lived in Brazil from the 1st to the 4th grade of elementary school in Rio de Janeiro. So today we will have 2-piece handicap. It is actually a pretty rough handicap to win against. It will be very similar to 4-piece handicap, where you need to make sure that your big pieces will be activated. That's the most important in here. So let's see if Clawmac made some preparation in her game. So we see that she in fact did. She pushed the 4-5 pawn early. This is in order to preserve this bishop line diagonal being open. It's a very good opening line. What we usually do is we follow up with this pawn, therefore threatening this sacrifice as well. But generally together they maintain this bishop line pressure. Usually we have this silver coming up together with this knight. Some ideas like this, but in this case Clawmac had a different idea. She decided to put her left silver here, and this is gonna be very unusual but also famous Joseki line, which is gonna be called silver tandem. It will make sense in a moment. Meantime, Ajiki sensei is also preparing her right gold, in the attack as we saw before. And we slowly see the silver tandem shape taking its place. If the gold was here, the king usually walks toward here. This would be the silver tandem shape, the silver being together. But here, Clawmac decides to exchange the rook pawn, which is beneficial, right? Ajiki does the same, and here Clawmac shows a good chess intuition of using the rook in the defense to not destroy her shape. Very well defended her here. We finished the castle, but before Clawmac decided to put the king in the center, she sensed that this is the chance to attack. She dropped the pawn to 7-2. It's a very interesting strategy. As you saw, Ajiki sensei exchanged those pawns here, which means she's able to drop that pawn there, distracting the king from the center and finding an opportunity to attack. If the pawn were to take, this silver and the rook put some nice pressure in the center, right? So Ajiki sensei decides to come back, and an attack continues. If Clawmac were to redrop to the same pawn, the king wouldn't be able to take it here, as the silver is falling. Pawn drop also would result in silver exchange. So this was a possible way of going on in this position, but interestingly Clawmac decided to activate her bishop instead, which feels even more powerful. Both rook and bishop are now very active. It seems like her risk of attacking before castling the king may pay off. But of course that's not over. Ajiki sensei has her own chance at defending, and Clawmac goes for very interesting moves. Silver 4-5. It seems like a free silver, but once that happens you can see the rook Sabaki is just unstoppable. We lost a silver, but we were able to pick up gold. And once those two dragons are made, this king is surely to be captured. So we cannot allow that, This silver is poisoned. We're not gonna take it, we're gonna defend silver with the gold. Silver takes, gold takes. And here Clawmac could have made moves like this, for example. Going once more for very, very strong sacrifices in order to promote the rook. That was a line shown by the computer. But she chose a very similar approach, silver for 2 drop instead. Once more, if the bishop is taken, we promote. So Ajiki Sensei defends. And this is quite a rough situation because all the squares are defended. We don't have a way to break in through, so bishop retreat is the correct choice by Clawmac. Really well calculated here. Now it's Ajiki Sensei chance to put a pressure on the silver on 4-2. And this is quite a troubling moment. But actually, to say the truth, Clawmac had a little bit of chance here. That was the factor to bring that bishop back only after rook sacrifice. Little bit awkward looking because silver, yeah, and the rook are taken, but actually this king is pretty safe and this king is in danger. We have 2 pieces to use. Let's say they're gonna use the rook against us. We have this amazing bottom pawn that blocks the rook influence. And if they were to like wait and let's say we attack this gold defense, we actually have a checkmate here. Silver draw 5-3, king escapes, and using all those 2 generals that we gained, we deliver a beautiful mate. So that was a chance. Really hard to see though. Yeah, we have to have the courage of sacrificing the whole rook. We have to have confidence that it's enough, but it was enough. Clawmac chose a different approach, which was also very valid, which was to try to activate this bishop, sacrificing the silver onto free square. Silver takes, pawn push. If the silver takes, then our sacrifice was beneficial. Yeah, we get the horse and the lance. But the silver continued to climb the 4-4 square, and you probably see where it is going. Yes, once more we could have sacrificed the rook and taken that silver. Well, very unlucky. Clawmac could have done it, and this gives her a huge advantage in this position. Yeah, unfortunately we miss it. Those are moves that we have to learn in order to become a strong shogi player. We have to realize that sacrifices are necessary to advance our pieces. The fact that this whole gold is gone breaks this whole defensive position of the king, right? And de facto, activating this bishop onto this square is more important than having a rook on the board. If you look at it, this rook is doing nothing actually. So by exchanging that rook into a gold that's useful in our hand, that's a great deal. Yeah, so maybe this is something we have to realize. Well, I'm always saying this as a community, yeah, because we are learning all together how to play shogi without those English materials and so on. Those are the moves, those are the tactics that we have to learn as community so that our overall level gets better, yeah? Okay, so the game continued. Rook 3-8, unfortunately turned the game to be equal. After which, bunch of exchanges happened. Silver was taken by the bishop, rook was taken by the gold, and Ajiki manages to retake that silver, so it's equal. But unfortunately for Clawmac, what we arrived at is bishop versus rook game, which feels much more equal than 2-piece handicap, right? It's gonna be tough from now on. It's gonna be tough, but both sides pick up more and more pieces to their army, yeah. We picked up lance and knight for Clawmac, we picked up silver and knight. And because we picked up a silver knight for Ajiki Sensei, we have this drop, which seems to be very painful if we were to retake this knight. We don't have to retake this knight, therefore, in this moment, it feels like the time froze, and Clawmac can do whatever she wants. This happens only in endgame. Pieces turn to stones, yeah, so this knight becomes irrelevant for a moment. If Clawmac played the correct move here, she had a chance to win the endgame race, basically. What she chose was silver drop 7-2, which goes for the king surrounding the king, which is correct idea. But knight was a little bit more solid. And perhaps it will make a little bit of sense later. Here it makes more impact because this horse operates with it so well. Here it also was possible around this moment to use the same knight. And unfortunately it's only barely that we're able to corner this king. King here would lead to a checkmate actually, as this horse is covering this square. So this is actually a checkmate, right? The problem is when the king runs here, we're missing this one crucial piece. And computer suggested move is then we're gonna take this knight. This is a very scary moment. But notice that Gode has only silver and gold to attack with. So let's say we drop the silver. We are immediately able to counter-attack it. And once we get a silver, we have a mate. So this is kind of endgame mind games here. It would be really hard on human level to like see who's going to win, but according to the computer Clawmac, with perfect play, she will be winning here. So yeah, the whole situation would be avoided if we drop the knight first. Yeah, starting with weaker piece. Little bit hard to like explain logically why the knight is better, but yeah, perhaps because the horse is active, that makes it easier. All right, but what happened is silver drop and knight drop 4/4, and I want you here to stop and notice how much less effective is this knight compared to this knight. It affects one more file to the right, which de facto will mean that we will be missing one more piece in order to corner that king over there. Yeah, because we use the piece on this file and not this file. It makes sense. And that will lead to the situation where Clawmac has to take one more knight in order to arrive at the position that she could have without this knight. So that's a little bit unfortunate. This is where the things went wrong, yeah? So here, actually, Ajiki Sensei was winning if she were to drop this silver here, according to the computer, but she went differently, which made it a little bit more complex. We had no idea watching also which side is like clearly winning. It was very equal still. Clawmac manages to block this dragon checkmate threat. Ajiki Sensei tries to reactivate it. Clawmac tries to capture this king, yeah, trying to drop this silver over here to pull it backward. But Ajiki-san defends strongly. And actually, in this position, Ajiki-sensei had a mate. She missed it, unfortunately. I mean, it started with this move. And then, because she has 4 generals, many drops later, together with the dragon, it would corner the king. But perhaps there's a lesson for us with it. We went for more solid play. If you're not able to tell if there's a checkmate or not, go for more solid play, if you're able to. In this case, we are able to. And you will see that the position we arrived at, it's a hishi, a certain win. No matter what Clawmac does here, she will try to make a few checks and try to defend. No matter what she does, this is a certain win for Ajiki-sensei. Yeah. So this leads to a checkmate, like this. Therefore, in this position, Clawmac resigned. There is a shogi proverb for the endgame, short hishi, so this type of position is better than long tsume. It's a good, well, human advice, yeah? If you miss long checkmate, just go for the certain and slowing. Nothing wrong with that. So in this game, to summarize it, Clawmac had a good opening preparation and a good attack, but she missed the crucial rook sacrifices or the crucial knight drop 5/5. But I think in the end it was a really exciting game to watch. And please learn this nice endgame rule from Ajiki Sensei so that you can use it in your games as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.